Okay, so this is part something of the Super Ghouls and Ghosts tutorial. I'm not really keeping track of the count anymore, but we've arrived at basically the hardest stage in the game, simply because of the ridiculous boss fight here. So we're just gonna go right into it. Now we want the bracelet on this stage, because otherwise we can't beat the game. So to do that, we're just gonna reveal this first chest, which is gonna be a magician. And jump forward a bit. And here's the second chest, which will be the bracelet. And this is a really good spot to get the bracelet. You can get it later if you want to, but dealing with the birds is really easy. And as you can see here, I'll just use a magic cast and kill the Reamer while the bracelet is spawning. So I'll get rid of that guy. And what the birds will do is of course random, but I like to go just right. Just go right and quickly turn left. You can see here. We'll bait the bird down like that, and just fire away at him. Nothing special. They'll take roughly 4 shots depending on the distance you shoot them with the bracelet. More on that later. Then just dispatch the other guy somehow. And just remember that now, I didn't kill him here, but let's say I killed him here and did a jump forward. The neck is still active when the bird dies, so don't go jumping into dead bird necks. We're gonna get hit. And then we can just look at so it's not that uncommon that let's say you take a death, or for example, and you come back here with the bracelet. Dealing with this Reamer with the bracelet is not really a big problem actually. Let's see here where the correct spot is in this video. Here, let's go. So we'll just jump up and hit him, and it will take a lot of damage. And then you can just, for example, walk left, wait for him to swoop and kill him. Now what he can do, never does it for me, but it's quite common. Instead of flying up this high, you can instead, when you shoot him here, you go close to about this height, and he'll fly over here and stop here, somewhere here. In this case, you can just keep walking, just jump, and fire to the left, and you'll get him. But, or you could probably just do the same thing, probably just jump up, shoot him, wait for a swoop, and kill him. The bracelet is pretty strong, so there's just an alternate thing that can happen with the birds. It doesn't fall for my bait, but it goes diagonal instead. Now, I'm walking away here, but you don't have to. I don't know, I have no idea what the hitbox on this bird looks like actually, but it's like up here or something. So you're completely free, completely safe to walk anywhere down here. So you can just, you know, shoot, fire away at him, get rid of him, and we're on, out of there. So now we're on to the exciting part here, the boss fight. This is a pretty mean boss fight, but let's see, we can just watch the first part, I guess, and see what happens here. And there he's dead. So, and I mean, that makes it looks pretty easy, but this boss fight is anything but easy. But let's go over what we're doing here. So first off, we can get in a free hit on Astaroth. What we do here is we'll walk along this platform. You can do a jump if you land early on this platform here. You can still do another single jump if you want to save a couple of frames, but otherwise we're gonna walk across this. Just do a really fast double jump and attack on the way down, and we'll get one free hit there. Now, you can see I'm of course holding down now, because as long as we crouch in front of Astaroth and Nebiroth, they can't move, so he can't run over us as long as we're holding down. And then we'll just wait until we see his flame. So we could probably jump already now, just reacting. This is of course slow motion, so but the way his flames work is he's probably already decided direction right now. Like, he's trying to shoot this way, so it doesn't matter what I do from now on. He's always gonna shoot down when he's decided. We just wait till we see the flames and do a quick double jump away. Now remember, we're doing this jump from a crouching position, so our bracelet is gonna appear pretty low. So make sure to not shoot him in the shoulder from this first jump. Attack him twice, and so the reason, like it's sort of alluded to, like sitting in front of him, is to make him shoot downwards. We're free to make another jump here and just fire away. And the laser, the way the laser works is it decides a direction. It's completely different from the fire. He hasn't decided a direction yet. He probably decides it's like just as he's shooting, like right now, maybe there. So that's the difference with the laser. It has a late, like, targeting system, so to speak. Oh, and I should also, we can quickly demonstrate here before we go into any more of this. So the way the bracelet works is the better armor you have, the longer reach it has. And the bracelet also decays in steps, so we can pull up my epic chart here. I made it myself. So you can see the top bar here is what it's the range that you'll have when you have no armor. So this first small bit here, you get 18 damage, which is a crap ton of damage basically, and for every notch it'll lose damage. So here's 12 damage, 6 damage, and then finally a paltry 3 damage, which is almost nothing, because these bosses have over 100 HP, Nebiroth has over 200, so you can see here when we fire that this thing reaches this far and then it'll disappear. And with steel armor it'll reach a bit farther. Green armor, it will at least reach the end of the screen, but it'll still be, you know, small by the end of it. But with gold armor, it'll reach to the end of the screen and still retain at least a respectable 6 damage until it will become tiny when it exits the screen. So you can see it's quite a big difference here. Like, by the time you get 3 damage in your underwear, you're still dealing 12 damage with gold armor here. So quite a bit of difference here. The armor makes a big difference for the bracelet. So let's go back into this fight here then. We just dispatch this guy. Now, of course, this guy is also based on RNG. So if you plan on practicing this fight with either with the practice ROM, which has built-in save states for console, or if you're using just, you know, normal save states on an emulator, remember that the RNG won't be scrambled when you load a state. So they'll be doing the same exact thing every time you load. So don't get fooled when you make a real run and they'll do something completely different. So remember that you can't learn a pattern they're doing from a save state. It's not reliable. So we'll just kill this guy. Or just and just, but we'll get rid of him. And we'll move on to Nebiroth. Now, this guy is easier in a way, because there's less variation in what he can do. So what we need to know for Nebiroth is we need to absolutely know his flame range. We can get into this in a bit actually. So just like in Loop 1, I like to start out with just crouching in front of him, because sometimes he just gets really confused by this. We'll see this here. So he stops blinking. I'll jump away, and this is a crouching jump again. So the cycle cannon, or excuse me, the bracelet comes out pretty low. So we make sure to not shoot him in the shoulder. Now, one of the keys to this battle is knowing the range of his flame here. He can only shoot in this like angle, no other angle, and the flame will like splash a little bit forward here. This you need to know this, so you can't like let him push you out. Now I'm playing this battle pretty recklessly, to be honest. Like I should be hit here, it feels like, but I don't for some reason. But you can see what happens now since I crouched in front of him. Now he doesn't know what to do, and I'm free to deal a lot of damage right here. And yeah, he dies really fast here, as you can see, and your experience is probably very different from this battle. Like it takes like 20, 30, 40 hits. And this is basically because I have gold armor and I'm standing relatively close, so I'm dealing a ton of damage per hit. Like remember, the fall off is drastic on this weapon. And I mean, I made this look easy right here, but this is anything but easy. So let's see what can happen, for example, here. You're not quite as fortunate. So we'll do our jump here. This is a bit of a different pattern right here. We'll just do the same thing, basically. And of course this is just an intentional hit for the sake of this video, but there you can also use the iframes. We don't have a ton of iframes in this game, but we have a few, so you can, you know, try and shoot him some more. Now, knowing the flame range is especially important if you lose armor, because now we'll be dealing like no damage from this distance. Let's see if we can see. So you can see roughly, this is a pretty good lineup here. So you can see we're dealing like, I don't know how big the hitbox of this weapon is. Let's say it's this big. By the time this box reaches Nebiroth from this distance, we'll be dealing 3 damage per hit. This guy has over 200 HP, so we'll be dealing like nothing. So what we need to do now, if we get hit... Oh, let's disable this overlay. Is... Okay, oh, this is also important, I forgot even to mention this. So the first thing is knowing his flame range, but also knowing when he can shoot laser. So the only time he can shoot lasers is after he's finished like with his flame breath. That's the only time he can shoot laser. He doesn't have to, and sometimes the laser can be silent. So if he's off screen and you see he's shooting flames, be ready for a laser. It can come just silently from nowhere, so... And that's the reason here. He starts shooting flames, and right now I'm not jumping into him here because he might shoot a laser. So that's why I'm waiting right here. I see he doesn't do it. So we'll hit him. Let's see if we can get a better... So this is what you want to do, especially if you lose armor. You want to make a jump in, jump back and hit him twice. You can see this shot, of course, is gonna do probably full damage. If not, it's gonna do 12 damage, which is pretty good still. So, and you can even do this when he's shooting fire, so let's wait for a moment where this happens. I'm jumping into him, and here you can see, you can jump over the flame, somewhere close to his arm, jump back, and get in 2 hits. That's where knowing the flame range comes in really handy. You can see, even though we lost armor, we killed him pretty fast actually. Like, I land a lot of damage on him. So, yeah, that's... I mean, there's not a... I'm making it seem like there's not a lot to this battle, but it's really difficult. But if you know it's basic, this is all you have to know basically from Nebiroth, that if you lose armor, you have to jump in over the flames to deal any sort of damage, or else he's not gonna be very impressed. Yeah. So that's pretty much all there is to this battle, but it's really difficult, and I mean it's completely random, so you can't really depend on any specific patterns. You just have to, you know, play the battle a couple of times and do the jump-ins. And it's almost like, you know, he's kind of a big guy, both him and Astaroth, and they're kind of imposing, you know, but you have to, you know, not let him frighten you, kind of. You have to fight for your own ground on this platform, because if you let him just push you out, like, let's see if we can, like here, I know I can stand on this edge of this platform right now, but if I wouldn't, you know, if I just would jump off and stuff, he would just push me down here and start like shooting flames down here and zone me out for as much as you want to. So you have to, like, you know, assert your dominance basically, I guess, with these guys, or otherwise they're gonna push you out all the time and you're gonna get in like no damage. So I mean that's basically it. It's a really difficult fight, but it is made a lot easier, especially Astaroth, which is the real problem here, since we can get in a free hit and 2 more free hits there, and even more free hits almost there. So, and by now he's lost a ton of HP, so that makes this fight a lot easier. That start, the free hits, and yeah, for Nebiroth, basically know his flame range. That's it, and make jump-ins over the flames to get in much more damage like that. And the rest is just practice, practice, and practice. Basically, these guys are no jokes. But we can make them a bit more manageable, at least once we know what we can and can't do, which is really important here. We have to know what they can and can't do, the limits of this battle, basically. Otherwise, we're gonna like run down the timer. But yeah, but now I'm just rambling on about this fight. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. So good luck, and the next video will be about Sardius, which is a pretty easy boss fight actually. This is the real final boss of the game. But until then, I'll see you next time.